we had to learn in a very, very different way. In fact, I teach something in my school. Let me see if I can say it right now. There is two ways to learn, and the one is that you learn something because it's presented to you at the moment, and you don't know it's necessarily where to put it. And the other one is to learn at the moment what you need to learn for that particular moment, which is the beauty of what kids and anybody, including me and you, have the opportunity to do right now. You can just come up with an idea about any random thing that you want to learn about, and you get to do it at that moment. It's the most brilliant thing. And we didn't have that opportunity. But my question to you is, how do you feel about the past, how we went through? I mean, it wasn't easy, but I know it was fun. I know we had much more life interaction, much more. I think we were dreaming much higher than what's happening today, and less animosity. There is always competition, but what's going on in the dog world right now, it's in a different level, the dynamics, and we'll get to that. But I'm just curious how you feel about past and how we got there.
I feel conflicted. So for sure, there were things about the way that we came up that were better. It's almost like organically you were able to process information as it came in little bits because you didn't get it all at once, right? Now with the internet and things, you can be new trainers can be overwhelmed with information and opposing viewpoints and all that kind of stuff. And maybe when you're learning something new, too many voices make it hard, can force you into inaction, right? And I think what probably for me, certainly, and I'm sure for you, we were out there, you'd be exposed to other trainers, you'd get an idea, but then you were sort of left on your own to mess around with it,
exactly,
and experiment and work through it. So you felt like you really knew it before you were given more information, right? And I was given information at various times in my development that I wasn't ready to receive at the time. I'm sure every trainer has this. Somebody said something or showed you something, and maybe it made sense, but you had no place conceptually to put it in your personal experience. And so you just kind of went, whatever, yeah, and went along and did your thing. And then 2 years down the road, you're like, that was actually good information, but I wasn't ready for it. And I feel like right now, to some degree, with the internet and the amount of information, which is a great thing, trainers can move way more quickly through certain things, and you can get access to information from all over the world. The top trainers, you can actually listen to them and watch them and things in a way that you would have to make big efforts to do. But also, I think it's overwhelming and confusing for some beginning trainers to have that same amount of information, and they're not left to experiment either.
Yeah, the overload without letting it simmer and without letting it actually really set in and try and feel and understand and practice and then do it again. Yeah,
and do it wrong and make adjustments because you did it wrong yourself. Having somebody there telling you, from the seminar circuit too, there are lots of people that can execute something if there's somebody standing around telling them what to do, that are physically, mechanically talented, and if they have a training director or someone there to mentor them that's basically watching them and reminding them, you can become a good technician without kind of feeling in your bones and understanding and making the adjustments, and then they get afraid because there's so much information out there. People can get afraid to make a mistake, so they're unwilling to try things for fear of oh gosh, I'm gonna ruin my dog, or I'm gonna make this mistake. And so I feel conflicted, right? Also, I think that a lot of what's on the internet is oversimplified, and everything is edited to be, this is a problem with society in my opinion anyway, right? With the idea of instant gratification application and things given to you in like intense little bits, right? But dog training's not like that. It's like the slow movement out there. It's showing up. It's being there. It's like intensely focusing on another creature for extended periods of time. And all the little blips and short clips give people information, but that's not how dog training feels when you're doing it right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think it makes anybody that gets into dogs right now, because of that access and because of that overload, it forces you to be impatient and not to be able to focus and comprehend something that's given to it. It could be valuable, it could not be valuable, but even not valuable information is interesting to say at least. But if you're rushing and you're just YouTube hopping and from then you're back on Instagram and chasing clicks like the that's a problem. I think a very serious problem right now. It's almost there is how good of a trainer I am in the social media environment.
Oh yeah, I have all kinds of difficulties